Hello everybody and welcome to my sewing room. My name is Carole and you're joining me today for the start of a new series of the Fabric Wheel of Fate. Now, if you've never seen this or don't know what on earth it is or what am I doing, I'm just going to give a recap now. So we all have those fabrics in our stash that we love and we intend to sew up, but we just keep bypassing them because we're not quite sure what to make with them and we don't want to spoil them. Well, I've done two similar series now on this theme. My father made me this lovely wheel years ago and I've adapted it to help me with my sewing choices and get some of my stash sewn up. So why don't I just go and choose something and just get it done? Because this is more fun. It's more fun for me, and in the past I've learnt that it's actually more fun for you to see what I'm gonna have to sew up and if it works or not. This time round it's going to be slightly different. I've made it twice as hard for myself. I don't know how this is going to work out, but we'll learn together and we'll just find out. So what I've done before is just have the fabrics that I'm going to use up in the 6 sections, and I've spun it and that fabric has been chosen, and I'll go and choose a pattern. Very often it was patterns I hadn't used before. So that was great. This time round I've made it much harder on myself. I've done patterns and fabric. Now, why I'm calling it double trouble is because the first time I spin I will be choosing the pattern, and the second time round I will be choosing the fabrics. I've no idea how this is going to work out. They are all similar types of fabrics and they are all similar types of patterns, and they're all ones I have not sewn up. So I'm killing two birds with one stone here. I'm using up some of my stash and I'm using up some of my pattern stash. So I will be a bit later in the video spinning this for the first time, but what I'll do now is just run through the patterns because I know they're tiny little patterns that I've cut out and stuck on there. I'll run through the patterns I've chosen and then I'll show you the fabrics. I have chosen all big 4 patterns. I do have a majority of those. I tend to, the indie patterns that I have actually sewn up. Because I used to get a couple of the sewing magazines, and you used to get kind of 3 patterns a month on one and 2 on the other, I built up quite a collection. So yeah, I do have a lot of big 4 that I haven't sewn up, so that is what I've chosen. So first off, all these fabrics are kind of viscose chalets or similar, so I'm hoping they will work. But first off we have Burda 6525. All these are fairly simple, but then that's my lifestyle. If you follow my channel, you know I don't sew particularly complicated things. I don't have a reason to. So they are all quite simple. This one particularly. So this is a top. It is a princess seamed top, and it does have a ruffle here. Now, a lot of the views that I will choose will be based on how much fabric I've actually got, because I have got varying amounts on these patterns, so I'm going to have to adapt it along the way. But yep, I've never made this up. Looks quite simple, but princess seams, so that could be quite interesting. So that's Burda 6525. Next on to Simplicity 8949. I've been wanting to make this for a while. I did a sewing bee challenge with some other sewing YouTubers last year, and we had to send someone a pattern to sew up, and I actually sent this one to somebody, but I got another copy for myself because I fancied having a go and I haven't got round to it. So as you can see, it's got a V-neck front, you've got some kind of pleating there, you've got a gathered back, grown on sleeves. I would love to get this pattern done, so hopefully the wheel will help me. So next up we have another Simplicity, fairly new one actually, 9782. What I've got my eye on is this little raglan sleeve blouse here with the button up front. It is quite a full blouse, so depending on the fabric I may have to take some of the fullness out or adjust it somehow. We shall see. There's a cute little one with little ruffle sleeves. Looks cute, but I know that would really annoy me, so I won't go for that one. Okay, what's the next one? Next one is a McCalls pattern, another fairly new one, McCalls 8067. And again, this is the one I have my eye on, a little button front. Actually, thinking about it, it's probably because very recently I made this that I'm wearing here, and it's actually a Lutero system top that I made, a button-up jersey, and I really like it. So I think that's probably why when I was choosing my patterns, in my head I'm thinking, I'm liking these button-up blouses. So we have this one here, fairly boxy style, pockets, probably wouldn't put pockets, various different versions depending on the fabric. So that's McCalls 8067. 2 to go, and they're both Butterick. This is Butterick 6875. Now I've had my eye on making this little top for quite a while. I'm not sure I will be brave enough to do this one with a slit here. I am always conscious of brass straps showing, so I'm not sure I would do that. That one doesn't have the slit, I don't think, but has a weird pleat, so may need lots of fabric, not sure. But I certainly do like the little version there. So that's Butterick 6875, and the last one is Butterick 6899. Now I know a lot of people have made this, not particularly with a lot of success, because I think you've got to get the sizing right on it, or it can look quite baggy or be too tight. It's going to be a challenge, this one. And again, it's going to need lots of extra fabric, so it will be very dependent on that. Really, I love the little one with the ruffle sleeves there, but we shall see. There's also the option for colour blocking, but obviously that isn't going to work for me unless I really run into trouble and I have to dig out another piece of fabric. But that's a Butterick 6899. So those are the 6 patterns that around the edge of my wheel. So let's have a look at the fabrics that I've chosen. I'm going to use my mannequin here to throw them over so you can get a bit better look. Some I love more than others. This piece here I absolutely love. It is a beautiful piece of viscose, and as usual I can't remember where I got any of these. I have got a good chunk of this fabric, but it's got lovely drape, it's got lovely colours, it would be super for summer. And a lot of these fabrics could make dresses, but I don't tend to wear a lot of dresses. And certainly the summer we're having now in the UK, I don't think that I will ever have the chance to wear dresses this summer. So tops and trousers is what I live in. So this is the first one, absolutely gorgeous. The second one, now I have made something from this, but I do have a great chunk left over, and I've actually made the patina blouse out of this. So I'm hoping that I don't get another button-up blouse from this, but let's just let the wheel decide. Another viscose chalet, absolutely beautiful, and I love the patina blouse that I have in this. We have another one, again not sure quite where I got it from, but it's lovely blue and white paisley. And I know paisley isn't, a lot of people don't like paisley, but I do love blue and white together and the cleanness of the two colours. So I'm really liking that one. This one is going to give your eyes a run for the money, I think, because it's quite symmetrical. Actually, it looks better looking at on camera, seeing it through on the mannequin than it does being sat right next to it. But again, a very clean pattern. It's got the beiges and the blue. It could almost lend itself to an autumnal top as well. So maybe if that's one of the last ones I do, then it's very clean, very neat. This piece here, I do remember I got it. It's the only one that's slightly different in texture, and it's almost like a crepe. I bought this when I went to the sewing studio in Florida, near Orlando. I can't remember, Maitland, is that right? Yeah, I got this when I was shopping with Grace, from So Lovely with Grace and Deb. So yeah, that can make a nice top or a nice blouse, and I think I've got a couple of yards of that one. This is the last one, and this is the one I'm not so sure of. It's actually quite a cheap viscose chalet. All the others are quite good quality. This one's not so much. But again, it's very pretty. And I think it got a bit of burgundy in there. I think it would make a nice blouse or top. So I hope you agree with me that they do lend themselves to those patterns. But of course, the only way to find out is to actually sew them up. So let's get on and do the first spin. And to say I'm nervous is a huge understatement. As with previous spins before, you're just going to have to trust me that I don't cheat. And anybody that knows me knows I never cheat on anything. So you're going to have to trust me. So here we go. This will be the first spin. And the first spin I'll do is for the pattern. Off we go. That was a good spin. And it has ended up on the Simplicity pattern. Perfect. Right, let's find out which of these fabrics is going to be in that pattern. Here we go. The Paisley. Now that is an odd choice. I probably wouldn't have chosen that. So let's, now we've got the results, let's put the two together and see what we think. Yeah, thank you, Wheel. This is a good one to start on. Normally you would think a big bold print like this would be a dress, but actually looking at how much I've got, I've only got a metre of it, maybe a little bit more, maybe 1.5. So this top will be the right amount for it, and the dress would not have been possible anyway. So I'm going to have a look and see which version I can make. I'll probably make the kind of simple top one. Yeah, I wouldn't have chosen it, but let's just see. Let's just see. What have I got to lose, eh? Let's see what it would like as a top. Yeah, it could work. It could work. So just to recap, that's Simplicity 8949. So those are the Wheel's choices, and that is what I will sew up for you. So I will be back in a couple of weeks with the results, and then we will do the next spin. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? It's not what I would have chosen. We shall see. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you've enjoyed this video, I will put the playlist for the other fabric wheels, and then you can just see the spins, the results, the spins, the results, if you can't wait to a couple of weeks to see the results of this one. Thank you for joining me again, and don't forget to join me on #FridaySews, where I normally do a video every Friday just chatting about what I've been sewing, buying, and just general chit chat. Thank you. See you soon. Bye bye for now.